Am I the jerk for marrying the daughter of my ex-wife's affair partner? Something I want to make clear from the beginning, there is only 11 years between my new wife and I. So I'm not old enough to be her father, as I'm sure people were thinking from the title. I'm a 35-year-old male, and I've been married to my second wife for almost a year now. Things are great between both of us, but my ex is saying it's crazy. My ex and I met in college, and once we graduated, we got married. A year after that, we had our daughter. For the first few years, I honestly thought things were fine. I thought the arguments we had were just first-time parents type stuff. Looking back now, I know the signs of the affair were clear, but when my wife said she needed to work late, I really believed her. At the time, she made more money than I did, so I thought she was working late to provide, plus I was taking a lead with the childcare stuff. It sounds silly now, but I didn't mind her spending time away from our daughter and I because I thought she wanted to see to it that our child had a better start in life than either of us had come from. A lot of guys probably would have found it odd how much my wife was talking about her boss back then, but I trusted her, plus I had actually met the man and his family, so I kind of trusted him as well. Her affair partner was married himself, obviously, but his wife had cancer at the time. So even if I had doubts, the idea would seem crazy because who would cheat on a wife who had cancer? That proved not to be the case, though. I met my now wife before, so when I found her waiting outside our building one day, when getting my daughter home from school, I knew who she was, but the news of the affair was hard to hear. I had to believe it, though, because she had come with pictures and screenshots of messages, some of which said very bad things about me and her mom. Afterwards, I confronted my wife, and she didn't even deny it. She left me that night, and by the way, didn't even say anything about our child when she was walking out. My ex and her affair partner moved away within a few months, and once the divorce was settled, I never heard anything from her, other than a few times she replied when I asked for child support. Due to the lack of child support and being a single parent, I had to start working a lot more than I had been, which left me in a tough spot childcare-wise. However, the affair partner's daughter was a lifesaver. She was in college by that point, but she was staying at home to help her mom with everything cancer-related, and she said at the time watching a child was an easy add-on. It took some getting used to for my daughter and I, but eventually we got used to it, and my daughter started to really like her, which was a big relief for me back then. I love my daughter, and I do try my best, but when it comes to girly girl stuff as a man, there's a limit to how well I can manage all that stuff, so having her and her mom was a real lifesaver. It has to be said, when she made me take time for myself in those first years, like going to see a few movies, while her mom watched my daughter, was a relief from the stress I was under. For a long time, we were just friends, and it kind of didn't occur to me that she and I could be anything more. However, things did change. When she graduated, her family had paid for a trip for her and a friend to visit a high-end restaurant and spend a few days in a city she loves. I put money towards it too, but I'd done it thinking she would invite one of her friends from college to go with her. However, she invited me, and without going into details, some stuff happened that meant by the time we came back, we were a couple. About 6 months after that, I proposed, and she said yes. It sounds quick, I know, but I'd known her for years by that point, plus her mom, whose cancer has been getting worse, started hinting that she would like to see her daughter get married. When it came to the wedding, she had no interest in telling her dad, and her family supported that choice. For those interested, her grandfather walked her down the aisle. As for my ex, at that point it had been years since I'd heard from her, so I hadn't bothered with anything there, and the wedding went off without a hitch. It was on the honeymoon when things started. My wife and I were both going without phones for the 2 weeks, with the idea being people would only call if there was something wrong with my daughter or my wife's mom. As a result, we weren't there for the crap hitting the fan, which we found out about from everyone when we got back. Somehow, my ex and her affair partner had found out about the marriage, and they had turned up while we were away knocking on everyone's doors. It didn't go well for them, though. My daughter was staying with my wife's mom when my ex and her affair partner turned up. Apparently, she got several neighbors involved in showing him off. I'm told the general tagline was that it's crazy to marry a younger woman just to get back at my ex. I was crazy considering the age gap between my ex and her partner is actually bigger. After all of these years, my ex claims that she cares about the message I'm sending to my daughter. That's where I'm actually having some self-doubts. I do love my wife, but I also love my daughter, and I've been wondering what kind of example I am sending to my daughter.